Hey everybody! Well, today we're going to take a look at another one of these really awesome kits from Rokr. Now, you've seen me build these before on this channel. Most of them are the wood kits, but they've been coming out with a lot of these plastic kits that are more standard, like a model kit, where you snip the pieces off the sprues, and the pieces are metal, and they're usually assembled just with fastening the parts together, like friction fit, or some of them screw together too. Now, I've done a mechanical scorpion and a mechanical beetle before, but this is the latest one now. It's a mechanical butterfly. It looks really awesome. You got the clear wings going on right here. It looks like there's another layer of wings here. The body's got that nice metallic look with the gold and the blue. I think the little antennas light up. Maybe they flicker. I'm not really sure. You can see that it's perched up on this flower, and the middle of the flower lights up, and it's on this nice little vine. It has the standard metal Rokr stand for this. I think it uses 3 or 4 AAA's or AA batteries, and it's got a nice touch-sensitive button there to turn it on. So that's going to light up, and the wings are going to flap. So on the back here, it just kind of gives you some little details about it. There's the mechanical scorpion that I did a video on. You can check that out. And these do come in a couple of different colors. You can see here that it's got like this kind of light blue color right here. And I went ahead and just got the metallic dark blue. So you can choose, whatever color you think you might want on it. All right, well, let's take a look at the parts. It should be an interesting build. All right, so here are the parts. Now, there's not as many parts to this as the scorpion or the beetle, but they look just as nice. So let's start with this one. You can see the nice gold coloring on these. It's got a nice kind of blue in there. Some of the parts are kind of small. I like that they're already painted, which is great. Nowadays, I kind of am liking that more and more. And then here's some of these. I like the detail on that one. And they're painted on both sides too. And then we got these. Now these are the legs, and they are very, very thin. Look at that. You're going to have to be very careful cutting these off the sprues because they're super, super thin. So you don't want to be breaking those. Might be a little tricky. We have the wings here. Now this is a vinyl sheet. And that's the big wings. Got the nice gold trim. And then we also have these wings. Now, I can't tell if this is a metal, like a really thin metal. It feels cold, so it might be metal. That looks really nice, too. Might be tricky to get that out of there if it is metal. Over here, we got, now I kept these in the package because they're labeled that way, so I don't want to get them mixed up. But here you can see that's the rosebud. You can see that nice paint job where it's got that kind of shading on it. I'm not really sure what these are. But yeah, should be pretty cool for that. We got some tools. So we have a sanding stick, some tweezers. You get one of these really fine, thin screwdrivers or Phillips, and those are good to have because sometimes it's hard to find screwdrivers that tiny. And it also has some grease. I'm not sure what we're going to be greasing in there, but it does come with it. Now here's the very fragile antennas that I'm trying to break. You can see how thin this is. And these light up on the tip, and then you're going to plug them in here. So it's going to be that's going to be another fragile piece to be careful with. This is a metal piece. This is the vine that the flower is on. So they made it metal, probably just for extra support. Nice silver detailing on that. Here's the electronics. You got the motor and the circuit board all together. There's another separate little plug piece and a circuit board there. And I'm guessing that little wire is probably for the antennas, maybe. So there's that. We also have this flower bud type of thing. I don't know if the smaller flower bud lights up, but it is clear, so I'm guessing it does. Look at those nice little jewels. We also have this nice stand. Now the stand is slightly different than the other two kits because this is open, and so they got this protected piece of plastic on there, but it's a little bit different the way this goes together. It's got the touch-sensitive button, battery compartment, the main switch. These are always really nice. They're metal. Here is another sprue. Look at these. They got that nice blue with the gold trim around it. And then that's the main flower middle that lights up. Then we have, let's see. We looked at that. Here's some more hardware. Really tiny screws on these kits. You have to kind of really be patient. working with this super tiny stuff, and you can see how that looks. And then we also have this set of screws. All right, so this should be pretty cool. I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty fun kit. Most of these are, so I guess I'll get started. And if I find anything interesting to show you along the way of the build, I'll pop in and show it to you. All right, so here's what I got going on so far. We got a lot of the body of the butterfly done right now. This went together pretty darn good. You can see the little connectors here that make the wings move up and down like that. And the grease goes on the inside there, so that's where you're going to grease it. There's the connector. I think there's a light that's going to shine in this little hole right here, and that's what's going to make the antennas light up. There's probably like fiber optics or something in there. Got that cool little, I can't remember what this thing is called, on a butterfly. But now the only part that was a little bit tricky for me on this, you may not have as much trouble as I did, but when you're putting in this metal plate right here, that one that's marked R, there's one on the left side and there's this one on the right, but I had a heck of a time getting that in there. You got to line it up to that little bump right there, and then you got to put a tiny, tiny screw in there. I mean, it is super tiny. So there's the right one. This side has one as well. That one went in a little bit easier, but here's where you can see it all goes together. The instructions, once again, are very clear, and I love it. It's much easier to follow when you can see what the heck's going on. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of show you what I got going on so far. I really love it. Look at the colors on that. It's awesome. All right, well, guess I'll get back to work. Okay, so this part, a little bit of a fight in this because it is such a small area. A lot of stuff is crammed in here, but I managed to get it. So just take your time on this part. So you can see that little plug right there. The wires have got to go down in that little spot that you see. And everything has a specific, place to go as far as the wires go. There's the light that for this top clear section that goes into that socket. And so also when you are putting that little blue piece right here onto the motor, got to make sure the hole is facing the proper way so that it makes it easier when you're putting these two metal struts right here. Those metal struts right there, that's what makes the wings go up and down. But you got to, that's trying to line those up so that you can get it into the hole and then have that that little gold piece right there. They call it a nail. It's not a screw. It's just kind of like a push-in type of rivet or something. I don't know what else to call it. And you have to make sure that there is a millimeter of space in between that. You want to make sure it's not too loose, but it's not too tight either. But boy, this was a little bit rough trying to get all this in here. I'm not going to lie. Trying to arrange all that. But anyway, I think that might have been the hardest part of this whole thing. The rest of it, we're just going to be building the vine and attaching everything to the base. So at least we got that part done. All right, so I'm working on the wings now, and this part's a little bit strange in the instructions. So let me flip to this page. So the wings are actually attached to this plastic piece right here. And you don't even know that they're peel off. They look like they're just part of the thing and you just kind of tear them out. But no, they actually peel off of this backing. So on here it says, slightly remove 2 wings for later use. So it's making it sound like you don't remove them from this sheet yet. Now in the meantime, you start putting on these blue metal parts right here. You have to bend these little tabs, which are really super tiny. So the blue parts are on this metal sheet right here. These are like metal, very thin stamped metal. And so then you're going to bend the tabs and put it on here. So you're going to put them in a 90-degree angle. See, there's the tabs right there. And then once you fit them into those holes, then you bend them all the way down. But by the time you've done that, you start to realize that the next step is going to be to attach them on here. Well, they didn't ever tell you to peel them off of this thing. So now you've got the blue pieces attached to this with the tabs on there, but now this backing section is attached as well. So if you're building this, go ahead and peel those do one wing at a time, but peel it off and then attach that, because otherwise you're going to have to try to pull that backing paper off where the tabs are down. Now I did manage to do that because it's easy to do since they're only, they're open on one side. You can just kind of bend this stuff to go outside, to pull it off of these. But in the process of doing that, I did break this one, and you can see I had to glue that one part right there. That's the only one I broke. But yeah, it's kind of goofy the way they did that. So I don't know. I think it's probably best to just peel it off of there first and then attach those blue parts because it was just kind of strange. Wasn't really clear on that section. All right, well, at least I'm getting more going on here and I'm getting the wings attached. All right, here it is, all finished. Oh man, I love this. I absolutely love it. You know, when this was first announced, I thought I wasn't really interested in it because I thought, man, I really don't feel like building a butterfly. But now that I've seen this and now that I've had the experience of building it, I got to say I was definitely wrong. I love this thing. It's so cool. It works really well. It was a fun build. A couple little challenges that I mentioned previously. But overall, when you're done building it, it just looks fantastic. I just love the way he's sitting up on this little rose, blue rose, and the vine. And what's cool is this vine here is actually the power cord. So I'll get some close-ups of this so you can kind of see what all he looks like. But yeah, I'm very impressed with this. These Rokr kits seem to be getting better and better, and good for them. I really like these kits a lot. So let's take a look at some of the details on this. So the butterfly looks awesome. You know, these mechanical kits that they've been coming out with, they just have this metallic finish on them. See all the details of the gold and the little piping on there and just the way everything looks. I love the blue coloring on here. You can see his eyes. They got the little the eye section here, that little bridge on the nose. Now I will say that little bridge on the nose right here, that little section there with the little dots on it, I couldn't get that to snap on. I pushed and pushed on that thing until I was worried that it was going to snap or break. And so I ended up actually just cutting, using the nippers and cutting the connection point on the back and just gluing it on. But yeah, I'm not really sure why I had such a hard time getting that on there. And then, of course, I scraped it up, so I had to kind of repaint the little gold rings on there. But I can't even tell now, so it looks really good. But that was really the only thing I had a problem with as far as that kind of thing goes. But here's the inside of, or the side of his body. You can see the legs. The legs went on really good. Those legs are, they're kind of like a flexible, soft, rubbery material. So you don't have to worry about breaking them because they're soft. I was kind of worried that you could snap them or something like that, but no, really very cool. There's the abdomen area. Love these wings. That looks so good. It's got the clear vinyl, like I was showing you how those go together with the little clips. So these are metal, the blue area, and then these are the vinyl. I love his little antennas. I think there's fiber optics running through there because the light is down inside of his head that shines up through there. So I thought that was kind of an ingenious way to make those light up. Here's the back and the top. I mean, look at that. That looks that looks so awesome. And then here is that vine I was talking about. So yeah, that's the power cable right there, but it blends in perfectly to look like part of the vine work with the leaves and everything. So I thought that was really clever by making that gold like that. This thing here, this little flower petal, it looks like it would light up, but it's not. It's just kind of there for decorations, but it's kind of cool. It's, I think, one of the last things that you put on there. You can see how it connects to this. It's got a nice solid connection down there. It's got the touch sensitive button on the front and the little Rokr plate. And then there's the front where you can see where that lights up. That rose is cool looking the way they painted it. All right, well, let's check it out when it's all lit up and moving. All right, so I turned the lights down so that we can get a better look at the lighting. So here we go. Ah, that looks so cool. Look how good those wings move. And see how they pick up speed? So they have some alternating patterns to it. And then they slow back down. You can see how the tip of the rose lights up and it kind of like pulsates with the lighting right there. That looks so good. And it's quiet. The motor is very quiet on there. So it wouldn't make a lot of noise or anything if you've got this sitting on your desk. A very smooth motion on that, the wing movement. I love it. It looks perfect. Here we can get a closer look now of the rose area. See how that lighting kind of goes on and off like that. Then see his antennas. Look at that. You can see how they're, and then they pick up speed when his wings pick up speed. I like that it has some alternating animations to it. The beetle had that, and so did the mechanical scorpion too. Look how good those wings move. I love that. I mean, it is such a smooth motion right there. It looks really fantastic the way they did that. I like that jewel that's on the back right there. They actually give you a spare one of those. There's spare screws in case you drop them, spare pieces, which is always nice. I like that they do that because you know how it is when you're building something with really tiny parts and you drop it on the floor and it just vanishes. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. There's the base right there. Very, very quiet motor. I'm surprised at how quiet it is. So they give you quite a bit of grease for this to lubricate where the wings are spinning in there. That's like a little, I don't know what you call it. It's like the connector point where it rolls, a little pocket in there. And you use very little of it because you don't have to glob a whole bunch on there. But it's kind of interesting how they give you so much grease just for that. But yeah, that's so cool. I love those antennas. So those are fiber optics that run through there. Ah, I love this. This is really awesome. I'm really, really glad I got this now. Those wings look fantastic. Very impressed with this. Man, good job, Rokr. So there we go, the Rokr mechanical butterfly kit. Oh man, I just love this. I absolutely love this. I think it's so cool, really fun to put together. I think you'll enjoy it. It's not as big as the Beetle or the Scorpion kit, so it's kind of nice if you want to build something that's not quite so complicated. And I think I paid $50 for this on Amazon. Sometimes there's a 5 or 10% coupon on these, which is nice, so you might luck out and get one of those. And so I'll put a link in the description if you want to get one of these. It's a very enjoyable build. I think you're really going to like it. It's just, I mean, even if it's not working, if it doesn't have like the movement and the lights, it just looks good just the way it is. But I am very impressed with this. So it's by Rokr. On the Amazon website, it'll say Robotime. So Rokr and Robotime are actually the same company. I'm not really sure why they use two different names. But if you see Robotime, don't worry, it's the same one. In fact, when I ordered it, it said Robotime. And then it said Rokr when I got it. So it's kind of confusing. But yeah, very, very cool looking butterfly. I just love this. I can't stop staring at it. All of these kits have been really good from Rokr. I'm glad that they're branching off and doing more of these things. I look forward to more future kits from them. All right, well, that's it. Oh, I forgot this turns off after 3 minutes. So yeah, it's got a timer on it, so you don't have to worry about the batteries wearing out. So if it turns off, or if you've been letting it run for a while, it'll turn off. All you got to do is just turn it back on. So that's great. It saves on the batteries. And there's a main switch on the bottom as well. But yeah, I forgot about that. All right, good. I'm glad that happened. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd very much appreciate it. And until the next time, I will see you on the next video. So thank you for watching and have a good one.